You know that up until recently too. Working monarchies. Yes. And we're currently about to start to document that too.
Interesting.
Do you know, so many things that we don't know. And that is because the syllabus in school, I don't know where it came from. As
Very, I think, we even spoke about how they took away history, although I think this present government is adding it back. But AI has become such a contention. The battle with China and the US continue to range.
Yeah.
Africans are mostly waiting to consume, but not like I do know that a lot of the challenge, like you said, is biased data.
Yeah.
Right. But also, how do you see Africans leveraging AI to leapfrog? Because we've always spoken about Africans leapfrogging with technology.
Yeah.
With AI, where do you see that possibility? How do we, on the mass scale, leverage AI to bring our continent into 21st century? Is that something you've given some thoughts?
I'm currently working on stuff like that as well. There's a lot of space for that, because when you look at every form of AI, from generative to big data to to agentic to every single thing, there is space, because of the fact that when everything is done in the world, Africa is usually the last. Let me go to something as small as text to voice, for instance. If you go text to voice and you put Nigerian, then it doesn't even sound Nigerian.
True.
You know, what if we start to get Yoruba accent, Ijebu accent, Igbo people, Hausa people that would, document, create this thing. So you can create text to voice with indigenous languages, indigenous accent, voices and stuff like that. The space is there. Images, culture, tradition, clothing, artworks, all these things. Data. If I put Ijebu man on any AI software, it could never give me that image. But I could put a Mongolian man, as it probably do that. But where is that? So these are the spaces that we need to start showing, because we are going to be the last in line if we don't do anything. And that's a problem. So what we can do today is to find out how indigenous languages, indigenous cultures, subcultures can be documented, can be stored and trained in the large language models and the neural network. That alone would push us to a space where we could, speak. Like, just imagine we had a text to voice that was credible, that was representing the right cultures. Everything.
Even the Google Map has this. You're on Nta Road, and maybe it's NTA. Like, you will just realize that they still. And you have to listen again.
Exactly.
To know, because it's not even localized.
It's not localized. So we need to do all of this. But it all comes from data sets. We can't do anything without data sets. We have to capture. We have to properly move to communities, sub-communities, and it's not just the tech bros, is everybody.
Yes.
We need to work with local, chiefs to understand what their culture is like the most and document that. So we are properly representing them.
Do we drive that advocacy through education? Because a lot of them are on their way out.
Yeah.
I remember going to interview Professor Bruce all the way in his village in Delta State. And I remember just seeing him. He has this gallery. He was trying to really build like a tourist center with art. But halfway through, the place is amazing, but the road to the place, you know how Nigeria is, you have to figure it out yourself. So he has this very amazing space that is removed from everything else. I think his dream, like I look at this man, he poured everything into it. And I'm asking myself, wow, there's so much history here. He's 90.
Wow.
Right? And what are we doing to be able to archive? He spoke with such clarity. Such depth of history. In fact, he worked with us on Passport of Madame Ilya, and he had to illustrate some scenes. And we were asking him about, he was even talking about African spirituality and how some kind of art was a communication in itself. And he was going into layers and layers of meaning behind the art. And, I really felt this was a masterclass.
Yeah.
Right. But people like Wole Soyinka, they're 90. They're on their way out. All right. In another 10 years, we'll have very few of them left. And not a lot is being done to capture that.
True.
Right? But I don't know if you have anything in the way of advocacy that is able to sensitize, because there's Africa No Filter trying to change the image of Africa. I mean, we're all there.
Yes.
But being able to take that, I know that, we do research when we want to come up with stories, but how do we integrate it into an LLM that can help us to now start to, feed into an open source that helps us to see the world, or able to see us the way we want to be seen?
It's funny you ask this question, because I have a project that is focused exactly on that. It's called Storylines. Actually, it was powered initially by African No Filter. So I was like, once I was smiling, like, you're just hitting the point. So I started Storylines last year. Storylines is I'm documenting stories from people that are aged 80 and above all over the country, starting from Nigeria. You know, we've documented people like Shadi Thomas as the first designer. She's like 92 now.
So this is video documentation.
Video, yes.
Beautiful.
And it's not just documenting them. So we're using all the data that we're getting from there to train large language models. So in the future, so let me start from the beginning. Documentary, there's something called the Holobox.
Okay.
The Holobox is an innovative box that has a screen, so that when someone is speaking to you from the inside, you feel like the person is inside that thing. That's how we're exhibiting it. But that's just for exhibition reasons and for all of that. But it becomes a time capsule for the future. So the next generation in the 50 years will get to meet their ancestors. So now imagine, yes, we never met our ancestors in our lifetime. Nobody in our lifetime met their ancestors. But that's the goal for this. So imagine 50 years from now, you're going back and you want to meet your ancestors, you see them. And it's not just listening to the interviews. We are creating AI languages with these people, using everything that we've learned from them to train AI avatars, a digital twin of these people. So you can ask them questions and they respond to you based on everything that we've learned from them.
Beautiful.
So imagine a Bruce, for instance, asking him something about art in 1920 and he's responding to you without just. So that is the future of the project, and it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to reach them. It's hard to manage. It's hard to many things because we're dealing with this demographic, but it's necessary as well. And the many things I've learned from these people that I never even knew existed. You know, the many things that happened during the war or during independence or during many times that we don't know because they were not documented properly. But these are accounts of people that lived.
Have you done someone like Newton Jibono?
I'd love to. No, I'm always searching for people.
Yes. Because I think here is I mean there is also this guy Mwoko that is a sculptor. I know that man is over 90. He's a professor, but I remember meeting his son at the time in Port Harcourt and wanting to see a lot about even around music, what people like Victor Wifo them that are on their way out now. I think that I know someone like this guy that sang Baby with Two-Face, Victor Layo. I know they're almost all on their way.
True.
Right. And the other is Bongo Sikwe, this one in the north, or Dan Mariah. We just have all these guys that brought sound, brought certain unique elements. So this project is super exciting to me. Yeah. It's something that if I can, I'll find to try and see how to get a community that can actually support it, because I also feel like if we don't do, it's a moral responsibility in our time to give our kids what we don't have, what we're not given.
Exactly.
Right. And you know, so I'm not just a creator, but the way we can shape and redefine how we tell stories and the African future, it's through that. But how do you see Africa in terms of the potential and the possibilities? People have called Africa sleeping giant. People have called Africa like you know, a lot of things, the richest dark continent. But in your own prophetic possibilities, what do you see that is possible, and why are you still here? Right? Because the idea of I know a lot of friends who just said, I'm going to school, but I'm coming back because I'm a patriotic citizen. Trust me, the last I saw them was 2 weeks holiday in Nigeria and they're gone. But still being here, returning to Nigeria, something draws you home. But why?
Responsibility. I feel like I have a skill set. I have ideas. I have solutions. I don't have the right capital for them. If not, I would have been doing them. But I'll keep doing them regardless. So if I feel like I did something with Marvel Studios 2 years ago for a major film that'll be out later this year, and they were asking me, "What are you doing in Nigeria?" They're like, "Why are you not in LA? What are you doing?" Like, it's like, serious question, what are you doing? Because whenever I have production meetings with the full team, director, everybody, you know, in Marvel, and I was doing it virtually with them, you know, and they were asking, and I was asking myself, why are they asking me this question? You know, as is it such a bad thing to be in Nigeria?
Yeah, to be talented and still want to
still be here.
People.
The other series, for instance, the AI people on the fashion runway, people would come and say, "I never knew it was a Nigerian that did it." Wow, it was a Nigerian. And I feel funny. It doesn't rub me up the right way, you know. So that means the expectations for Nigerians are not high enough. That's a problem. So if I leave,
But, you know, it's designed in such a way that part of why we can't compete is the best don't get to stay.
sure.